Yeah, a good lap, especially because I only had one set. Everyone else had two, so it was definitely a little bit more pressure to deliver first time out. So it makes it a little bit sweeter. We did it in a more difficult way. But pole for anyone is always a nice thing and a good feeling. And then to have a 1-2 is even better. So a good day for us.
Very happy for the team and obviously a good result to be starting on the front row. But when it's so close, regardless of who it is, you always can't help but be a little bit frustrated. So a good day, honestly. Yesterday afternoon was pretty tricky for us. So it's nice to bounce back a little bit today and have a good result.
I think qualifying itself went quite smooth, but just not quick enough. I mean, the gap looks small, but I also got 2 laps in with 2 sets of tires, where Lando, of course, only had 1. So I don't think it is a realistic gap also, if you would have had another set of tires. It's just a bit of a shame, a little bit frustrated, of course, after all the updates on the car as well. I was hoping for a little bit more, but at the moment, we still need to try and improve it further.
Very, very happy because we saw clearly from FP2 onwards the McLaren and the Red Bulls were those 3-4 tenths quicker than us all weekend. And we did our best, to improve the car through practice sessions. But the reality is, as the track was cooling down through the weekend, actually it was maybe going a bit against us. But happy because I've done some very good laps in Q1, Q2, and Q3. Very solid session. It's been a few weekends in a row now that I'm driving well, so very happy.
Yeah, I think it wasn't too bad. I mean, I would love to have been higher, but given how it was easy to get knocked out, we nearly got knocked out of in Q2, so I'm grateful. I'm just grateful to be there in the mix of the pack, and I think I will have to see what we do tomorrow. I think we're definitely not quickest, and in the cooler conditions we're looking good, but once it got warmer, it's not the case.
More frustrating just about the overall lack of performance. I think Carlos have been driving very well this weekend. He finishes P4, which I think is the position of the car really, and he did a really good job. I finished P6 a bit behind, not a really clean lap. P5 was possible on my side, but P4 and P5 was the best result we could have hoped as a team. The biggest problem is that we don't have the pace that we used to have at the beginning of the season.
I think we have to be happy. The new parts, I think they brought performance to the car. This is a track that we were a little bit concerned on paper if we were fast enough, and I think thanks to the new parts we are both cars in the top 10. So this is the way to go. Obviously we need to finish the job tomorrow on the race.
Were you pretty pleased with the way the team and you have kind of reacted through a weekend, because you've had some difficult ones this year, and how much does that bode well for tomorrow and the rest of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we tried to work around the new package that maybe needed a little bit of adjustments in terms of setup. The car was behaving a little bit different. The team was working really hard last night, and I think we had a better car today.
I think the conditions came to us a little bit today, the cooler track temperatures, and the car kind of came alive a bit, so that was good.
Does it feel like the team made quite quick progress with understanding the upgrade, and does that give you a lot of confidence for tomorrow to stay there, hopefully?
Well, it's still early days. Let's see over the next few races how we go.
Even when the Yuki crash, the first thing you see is red flag on your dash. Obviously, you've just started a time lapse, so my initial thing was like, you're angry, and then they're like, oh, Yuki's in the wall, so I'm like, oh, okay. Is he okay? So you're just like constantly, you're angry, then you kind of obviously want to make sure that it's not a big crash, and then it's a lot. And then as you say, Q1, we were out, and then it starts raining more, and then there's a red flag, so that actually let the track dry a little bit, and then we're P1 with no DRS or anything. I don't know. I mean, no DRS. Everyone had no DRS, but just a weird session, very weird.
I didn't expect that. I just ran wide there, to be honest. I was comfortably within the track, probably because I was on the limit, obviously Q3. Half of the tire went on the grass, but to be honest, with that kind of things normally happens, probably because it was wet, kind of exaggerated and went wide. So to be honest, until that corner, I mean even turn 5, the lap was great, so it's very shame.
With the rules how they are, that you're not allowed to squeeze in, and then being last, you really have to wait your turn, but you pull out, but then 5 other cars in the meantime are already in the fast lane, and then they kind of have priority. it's not a great rule for for where we are, because we're just really compromised, and but it's really difficult to get the timing right. Obviously, you want to be late for track improvement and evolution. So yeah, it was too close for comfort, but still got the lap or got over the line before the red flag. But yeah, it was certainly challenging.
I have to say, I definitely had the feeling after that last lap that I couldn't do more. So that's obviously a good feeling. But yeah, unknowingly close from Q3. But I think for us it's actually okay. If we look at the recent qualifyings, this is actually into the right direction. So that's good to see.
Frustrating. I think the whole session was a little bit disjointed with the weather. Same for everyone, but yeah, at Q1 our strategy wasn't fantastic. I think we stayed out a bit too long, did a lot of laps with some soft tyres, and then for Q2 we had a very old set and a new set, and so it's a bit of a jump. And at the same time we went early on our new set, so we caught quite a lot of traffic on our last run of Q2. So we lost some time for sure in sector 2.
Yeah, it was eventful. I think firstly, really happy with that first lap I did when it was spitting a bit of rain. Not too happy with the mistake. Nonetheless, team did a great job to get the car turned around. I think that was an important part of the session. In the end, I think we had a lot more pace in it.
It just was the last car out of the pits, and with all the gaps being created, I ended up running out of time. So I have to effectively push like a quali lap on the out lap. So when you start your lap, you've already done a hard pushing lap, and there's easily a lot of lap time in that. And there was only 2/10 to Q3. So I think that cost us Q3 today.
Yeah, it was really badly timing. I think at the time it was just raining a little bit harder in that particular part. And I think when I turned in, I clipped a bit the curb, and it was on the damp side. And yeah, unfortunately, I ended up losing the car on the way in, quite late in the corner. And yeah, I basically just became a passenger from that point on.
Well, to be in that position in the first place was on me. I took it easy at the start of Q1 because we thought there was no more rain. So I thought the track was going to get quicker. Suddenly it started raining, and that lap 1 was crucial. But it didn't matter because the track was quickest at the end. Danny was P1, and we had no fuel to finish the lap. So, I'm really quite angry with myself at the beginning. I don't know how we found ourselves in this position, but we should be out there right now fighting for a top 3.
I wasn't so surprised just because I was struggling a lot the last lap with my balance, because we went to setting up into a similar condition, so quite wet. But then the final lap, when the track dried up, it would just lack of rotation, unfortunately. But yeah, if it's only 2/10, there's definitely chances to be there. But today, unfortunately, it was a tricky one to get that together.
The team decided, to not go out. It was a strategy mistake. Clearly we missed the call, to get out. And if you think about it afterwards, we did 17.5 in P3. That was our lap time. The car, is never flat out in P3. And we were doing 18.0 there. The track was damp. Of course, they deactivated the DRS, but the middle sector, if it was going to be dry, was going to be much more than half a second.
Big mistake. I wanted to. Well, it's just things we got to review. But it was team's call to stay in, and unfortunately we got that wrong.